Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to J.E.T. Film. I'm John. We're going to be talking about the Road King today. In particular, the wheels, the brakes, and the other parts that I've done to this bike in the last couple months that I haven't touched on yet. So let's get right down to it. The wheels are made by DNA. They're the Mammoth 52 fat spoke, custom made. This is my third set of 52 fat spokes, and I love them. Never had a problem with them. I had the rim done in black powder coat, spokes done in chrome with a diamond design, the nipples in gold, the hub in gold. The rear is an 18 by 3.5 and the front is a 21 by 3.5. You guys might be curious why I chose an 18-21 setup. We'll start with the front. I was dead set on getting a 23 inch, but I realized how many more hurdles I would have to jump through versus getting a 21. Starting with the fact that a 23 just raises up your front end that much more, which means you have to drop it that much more. Not that big a deal, but if you want to keep the bike looking cholo, you're gonna have to really drop that front end. Then the front fender. So a 23 inch makes your front stock fender look a little small, like too small, to the point where it looks a little bit goofy. So in order to correct that, you would have to buy a stretch front fender meant for a 23 inch, then have it painted. Before you know it, you're in for some big money. Then on top of that, the tires. 21s are hard enough to find white walls for like good tires. A 23 is even harder because there's even less companies that make them. Let's go to the rear. I feel like it's a little bit wasted on the rear because you can't even see it. But, you know, what are you gonna do? If I were to go ghetto and just do the front wheel and just keep the back stock, then it's like, you know, if you enter your bike into a show, people are gonna they're gonna look and they're gonna be like, no. They're like, good try, but no. Now, a lot of people are skeptical about if you can even run an 18-inch rear wheel in one of these older Road Kings, or outright think that you just can't. Well, let me tell you right now, you can, because I did it, and the bike is lowered 2 inches. I will rub every now and then, like not gonna lie, on a really hard bump. Yeah, it'll touch just for a second. Not that big a deal. I also did adjust the preload, so it's a lot harder. Now, as far as clearance, the closest thing to worry about would be your belt to your tire. Mine is about 2 millimeters. For the first, I don't know, maybe 50 miles, I would get off and check the bike like every couple miles just to make sure the belt wasn't rubbing. It looks like it's never even touched once. Now, I mounted both these wheels myself, which is pretty easy with a jack and some simple hand tools. You really don't need that much. Well, that sucked. And a very important note to keep in mind if you are going to run DNA fat spoke wheels is that the threading on the hub for the pulley bolts is shallower for the DNA wheels than it is on your OEM wheels. In fact, it's about a ½ inch shallower. So you're going to want to get shorter pulley bolts. In fact, the exact spec you're looking for is 7/16, 14 by 1.5 inches long. Do that and combine it with a couple drops of red Loctite, torque to 80 pounds, and you are good to go. Now, as far as the brakes, sick, okay? Lindell brakes, once again. However, different. These are crown cut 11 spoke rotors. Performance oriented, however, also aesthetically oriented. These are black anodized look. I was told that if you use these specific brake pads by Lindell that the black will not wear off. It will turn a little grayish, but it won't completely wear off. While I was at it, I also painted the stock calipers with G2 gloss black caliper paint, and then did some fine detail work with the Sharpie paint pen that I had used on the Softail, but I did white on that. I did gold on this with that kidney bean looking thing. Looks totally sick, totally pops. I'm so happy with how it came out. As far as the rear rotor, I didn't change it at all. I did paint the caliper, however, but you can't see that. I didn't change the rear rotor because I didn't think you'd be able to see it. Now, all of a sudden, now it's like the only thing I do see. So I am gonna eventually change the rear rotor and pads, but trust me, I'm not doing it for performance reasons. The rear brakes will lock up as fast as you want them to. All right, so in the last couple of months, I've put quite a bit of parts on this bike. I'm not gonna mention all of them because I'm dedicating future videos to them. But for starters, we'll get to the turn signal illuminator. This is made by J.E.T, which matches my upper fork slider cover J.E.T piece. I'm also gonna have other J.E.T parts on this bike because I think it's one of the sickest designs like on the market right now. I also did the crash bar in black. This, I'll admit, I got it on eBay for like 90 bucks. Looks awesome, black. It looks like that anodized black, not gloss. Really cool. Fit like a bastard. I think I almost popped my shoulder out of my socket to get this thing on, but once it's on, it's on. It looks great. Gotta say, it really does look great. I'm not a big fan of the huge crash bars just because they just look a little just too big. All right, so one of the most obvious parts that I haven't mentioned yet is the seat. It's a custom-made seat by CNC Seats in California. I had it done in black with gold double diamond stitch. It's a really sick seat. It's pretty damn comfortable. It's definitely not as comfortable as the stock seat, but you're just not gonna get that when you have a lower profile seat. Fits awesome. I dealt with the owner directly, and what can I say? It came in, you know, it was a few bucks because it's custom. Everything with custom has like extra zeros on it, but it looks sick. It feels great. I used it for my 1,600 mile and 24-hour ride. So if that means anything, that means that it's comfortable enough. I also got the rear pillion to match it. It looks great, but I don't keep it on the bike when I'm not riding two up. Remember when I told you guys I was gonna eventually do the headers? They aren't just slip-ons, but don't worry, I will do headers. It just hasn't happened yet. I'm still debating on which company I'm gonna go with. Well, I did. I got Vance & Hines true dual headers. They look sick, they sound sick, they match right up with the Steady Custom Cycles fishtails. It was like not that big a deal to install them. I did it in like on a rainy afternoon. 5/8. All right, next is the axle nut covers. Now, if you have a build and you don't have front axle nut covers, then you are overlooking one of the easiest, cheapest mods you can possibly do to your bike. 25 bucks, and you could really clean up the ugliness that is those front axle nuts. All right, so I started doing some pretty sick black covers on this sick black bike, okay? J&H choppers make some pretty cool looking covers. So I did J&H chopper derby cover, J&H chopper Arlen Ness big sucker front face. Then I did, these are Harley parts. Actually no, Drag Specialties, I did the side transmission cover. Drag Specialties, I did the top transmission cover. And then Harley OEM parts are the black rocker box covers. All right, so I got the first rocker box on. Then I did some sick ass custom floorboards, which we're not gonna touch on today. We will get to those though. Guys, that's pretty much it. Lots more parts coming up for this and the Softail. This winter is gonna be crazy busy, but a lot of fun. These bikes are just so great to work on, and even more fun to ride. We'll see you soon.
I had a dream where we were side by side. Would you believe in a world where we weren't blind? I saw us free from pain and hate inside, but I woke to see it was all just in my mind.